Hello YouTube, and in keeping with the recent videos in which we have looked at Wildstorm Oversized Hardcover Custom Volume 1, Wildstorm Oversized Hardcover Custom Volume 2. Today we are going to be looking at my third and final Wildstorm Custom Hardcover, Michael Cray. As we can see, it's exact same size and exact same width as the others, so it lines up perfectly. For those of you that doubt, and of course many of you do for some unknown reason, what we have here is what it looks like. So Wildstorm, Michael Cray. I would recommend reading this after reading the Wildstorm. I'll pop those out of the way. And I'll just show you what I've done with the custom here. So we have Michael Cray. This is the cover of the first trade paperback. This is a nice, very smooth, very simple spine. And this is the cover of the second trade paperback. The entire series was 12 issues, written by Brian Hill, and is collected here in sequence. This is the flap from the first one, as in the first trade paperback, collecting issues 1 to 6. And this flap takes the text from the second one, which is the second trade paperback, collecting issues 7 to 12. Let's have a look here. We've got black end pages, again, keeping it nice and simple. And again, under the dust jacket, it is just black buckram. Nothing exciting, nothing complex. Here, we have the actual hardcover itself. And here are the pages, well printed, tightly bound, all put together. Now, this is an interesting one because out of all the custom binds that I've ever done, this is the first one that's gone quite badly wrong. And the reason for that is, as you go through it and you read all of these issues, this is all fine. This takes us up to issue 8, in fact, halfway through issue 8. And then things go a bit wrong. You'll notice here I've got this marks by a ribbon because I need to go back and fix these. All of these pages are out of sequence. They're not the correct sequence. This page meant to go to this page. These pages, they don't make sense. There's things on the wrong side of the wrong bits. This is not how this was meant to have been bound. Something's gone wrong in the printing process. I've spoken to my binder about it. We're going to have to take it apart and do it again. At this point, at the end of issue 9, then all this is again completely fine and in perfect order. And as you can see, as you will see in just a moment, at the end, we've got all the extra features, and that all makes sense, including some scripts and some drawings. So under normal circumstances, this would be a quick, short video. I'll just be like, hey, this is just me flexing a bit. Unfortunately, what we have here is a printing error, and that means that all of these pages, whilst they are really nice quality, and they're bound really well, and they're printed fine and so on, they've all just been put in wrong. I don't know what's happened. My binder don't know what's happened. I suspect someone dropped something during the binding process and picked them up and put them back together and didn't realize they were the wrong pages. They need to be sorted out. I am speaking to my binder about it. We're going to have to get it redone. But the reason that I mention this to you as a viewer is that if you do get custom binding done, as I often say, make sure your guidance to your binder is incredibly clear. And also be aware your binder is unlikely to be a comic book fan. So if there are errors, they're not going to spot them. It's your job and your responsibility as the person creating a custom comic, as creating a custom bind, to make sure that the right page is in the right place and the right instructions have been given and that it is correct. In this case, I'm going to have to get this edited and redone myself, which is admittedly a massive pain. Other than that, though, hopefully this was useful for you. Hopefully this is kind of inspiring or useful if you want to do something similar yourself. Again, doing these custom comics takes ages. That's why my channel has been so quiet for about a year. It's a matter of getting the issues, scanning, editing, printing, binding, designing, all this sort of stuff. Designing the dust jackets alone, takes a little while. So I'm very happy with how this came out, barring the issues and the pages that are in the wrong sequence. And I'm really glad of how my Wildstorm section of my DC Rebirth collection has come out as well. It looks really, really damn good. I'm very happy with all 3 volumes. Shame that one had an error, but I didn't want to lie to anyone on the channel. I'll just be completely honest and say, look, these mistakes do happen. It's an important learning curve, and I'm going to get that fixed. Right, that is my Wildstorm collection. What do you all think? Has anyone read Wildstorm? Do you think it's worth binding into an oversized hardcover? I mean, whether or not you do, I'm definitely just done it. But yeah, I thought some people might appreciate a bit of custom content there. Until next time, y'all, stay classy. Okay, hey, so this is a quick addendum, a quick correction video. If you just watched the rest of the video, you've seen that one of my Wildstorm binds is incorrectly bound. So, due to the miracle of editing, several weeks later, here I am with that same bind, and it has now been corrected. So I took it to my binder, I explained the situation. Funny story, when I took it to my binder, he was like, oh, I wonder why DC did this. And I was like, dude, this is something you made? He saw it, and because it looked so professional, and because I get so much stuff done, he was just like, "Oh, this must be a DC comic." And I'm like, "No, like you made this like 3 or 4 projects ago." Again, like I say, you have to remember your binder is not going to be a comic person to him. These are all just pictures. Anyway, so this is the page that we talked about, and this is the one that had gone wrong. So if you remember, it was this page, and then it was showing this page. Well, what we have now is we have it in the right sequence. So this is now correctly sequential up to and including the bit where he chases this person and then they jump out the window. So trying not to give too many spoilers, but long story short, this section, what we did is we took it out. So, well, what we actually did is we took apart the entire comic there. We took out the irrelevant section, which I very clearly marked. We literally just turned it around, put it back in, rebound it, and then just kind of like sanded and smoothed it off. So what we have here is this comic has now been fixed. So this is more of a thing about custom binding more than it is about DC Rebirth or Wildstorm. But just to say in terms of this, when you do get your stuff custom bound, always make sure you check it, because the truth is your comic guy is just a comic guy. They won't know if they make these sorts of mistakes. They're not going to read it. They're not going to understand that. So yeah, anyway, fixed. It's not worth doing its own video on because it's just ridiculously short. But yeah, fixed it, sorted it, and very happy with how this worked out. So yeah, as ever, thanks for watching. Stay classy. I'll catch you on the next one.
All right, thanks for watching, everybody. As always, please like, comment, subscribe. As always, please follow me on Twitter at I am Thomas Judge, where I will post a daily review of whatever comics I've been reading. You can get an idea of what I'm up to on the channel. And as always, please support the channel by heading over to Amazon.com and checking out my prose novel about superheroes. It's a completely original piece of work. The first episode in it is called Arrivals, and the series as a whole is called No Gods or Kings. You can find an excerpt of that on my website, nogodsorkings.com. Until next time, everybody, stay classy.